All right, here we go. We are underway with the practice. Well, we're almost finished with the practice for the U18 Boys Championship. Two-game total wood match once again. And we have our top seed, Alexander Hanachek, battling the man, came through the elimination bracket with Tyler Anderson. I'm $2 Phil Bryler, bringing you through the championship match. There you see the namesake of the event, Parker Bohn III, getting ready to do some final announcements to introduce the players and get this match underway. There's a $900 scholarship prize waiting the winner of this match. Hanachek has to be beaten twice by Alexander in two-game total matches for Alexander to take home that $900 prize. And we're going to be underway with Parker's announcements momentarily.
Testing. Okay. Okay. Alexander has decided to start the match on the left lane. He is the leader of the event, so he will have to win one match. If he loses the match, then it will turn into a second match. That being said, your lanes are coming on. Alexander and Tyler. How about a nice send-off for both of them here in the title match? Good luck, gentlemen.
Thank you again, Parker, and we are underway. Hanachek, our top seed, undefeated in the bracket. And we are underway with the strike. I'm $2 Phil Bryler bringing you all the action. Well, I brought it to you all weekend long, and not much more action to go here. There's a couple of elimination bracket matches happening out in the main bay here at Howell Lanes. We're inside of Rev Rates, special little 5-lane bay used for Bohn's Elite training and other great events here at Howell Lanes, as it's another fresh application of this 42-foot tournament pattern. 3.65 to 1 ratio inside the out. It's symmetrical on both sides of the lane. And about 29 milliliters in volume. So these players with some surface on their bowling balls, whether they're using some surfaced reactive resin or urethane, could really tear up this pattern in a hurry. So as you mentioned, Hanachek undefeated in the match play bracket. And he put up some pretty good scores in that bracket earlier. We'll talk about that momentarily. And oof, that is a vicious solid 9 there, Parker Bohn III. Thanks for joining me in the booth here in this U15 Boys Championship. And I'll tell you what, these young men and their rev rates nowadays, my goodness, they can really do some amazing things with bowling balls at this young age.
Well, Phil, I appreciate it, but I watch their ball go down the lane. They have more revs in one shot than I would typically get in a whole game. I mean, this is amazing.
I tried I haven't thrown a ball competitively or anything like that in about 5.5 years. I tried throwing some house balls earlier today, and then I had Anna Anthony practicing next to me, and I realized I'm like going, it's not my game anymore. It's not even close to my game.
Yeah, I watch her bowl. Obviously, I watch a lot of the youth bowl.
Yeah.
And what they can do to a bowling ball is just really impeccable.
Yeah, and we've got urethane in hand here for Hanachek.
Yeah, Alex, he likes to see the lane a pinch more so in front of him. But one thing for sure, and I've known him over the last 2 or 3 years, he's that type of player. If he starts to see it open up, he's not going to be afraid to get inside and go around it. But with that urethane going down the lane, carrying oil down the lane, it'll be interesting to see what happens to Tyler as time goes on and evolves.
And this is interesting. Is that polyester? It is polyester in hand. I thought he was switching to it, or maybe it is a reactive resin ball for the spare. It's a resin ball.
I believe it is.
So he likes to take a bit of the scenic route, I'm guessing?
Yeah, well, the interesting thing, if he continues to do that, throwing that urethane ball down the lane, if he gets that reactive ball a little bit right of target, we all know what's going to happen. It's going to start to quiver down the lane. It may not get there going across lane.
So Hanachek started slow this morning. He only had 324 in his opening match against Jacob Stango, who eventually finished in 3rd place. Stango only had 285, and then Hanachek caught fire. 435 with a win, 368 for a win, and that got him into this championship match as our #1 seed, undefeated. So he would have to be beaten twice by Alexander.
Pretty good shot right there.
Pins didn't stand a chance that time.
No, went right through him the way that the ball is supposed to.
You watch these young players nowadays, and I suppose you have to take your budget for pins here at Rev Rate and kind of refresh them up a little bit quicker with all these young players, all the abuse they give them.
They need a rest after watching something like this, that's for sure.
3rd frame. And slap that 10 out for Alexander.
Tyler, he bowled incredible in qualifying.
Yes.
He certainly did. He outdistanced the field, at least what I would say, on an overall basis. When I watched the way that he was playing the lanes and watched his ball going through the pins, unfortunately lost a match along the way, but prevailed, got himself back, and here he is bowling for the title right now, although he needs to win two matches. Watching him play, I don't think he's afraid.
Yeah, look at that. Rolls that ball up the forearm, helps give him those extra revs. 4 goes and 9 says, not this time, young man.
Yeah, just a little tight in the pocket that time. Fortunately, trips out the 4, leaves just a 9. Actually, that's exactly what he left the last time on that lane, but the last shot on that lane was it was a stuffed 9-pin.
Yeah, and Hanachek looking for a little revenge as he was knocked into the eliminator bracket Anderson knocked in by Hanachek in the match before they made their way into Rev Rates. And then Alexander had to do battle one more time in that eliminators bracket. And he took down our eventual 3rd place finisher, Jacob Stango.
Yeah, well, both bowlers, if you look so far through 3.5 frames, both bowlers look like they have the pocket, at least a line to the pocket, somewhat figured out. Now it's just a matter who's going to get on fire and throw 3 or 4 bagger here to really take control of this match.
Look at that wrist open up at the top of that swing for Hanachek.
That was a really premium shot right there. Put the double early on the board.
Now, Parker, we just mentioned Jacob Stango before he left a little earlier before this match. You got a chance to present him with his 3rd place trophy, those great bowling pins from your sponsor On the Ball Bowling, along with a $400 scholarship award. So a great day for Jacob Stango, nonetheless.
On the Ball Bowling really does an awesome job. Fortunately for us with the bowling pins and the bowling balls, what they do, but they certainly have awards that will fit any need that you want when it comes to the sport of bowling.
And that was nose over the toes.
Yeah, he really shut that one down, got it right in front of him. Fortunately for him, he goes through the nose to knock down the vast majority of them, but unfortunately, he's got a little bit of a challenging spare here. So we'll see how he's going to take this one. It looks like he's still got that urethane ball in hand.
Tough cover with that sleeper 9, and yeah, that's what happens.
Yeah,
Open frame.
Close that one down a little bit too much. Getting a little too much of the front pin there. Getting the 3-9 out. The ball not deflecting into the 10, but he'll just have to move along there and just sit on the bench and watch and see what Tyler does the next couple of frames.
It's amazing how these players accelerate into the shot and still have such great balance at release.
Yeah, Tyler really laid into that one there. Put all of his weight right down there in the foul line. All his weight was on that front leg. Perfect balance. Gets really through the shot really, really well. Well, and that 6 goes to the sidewall and cuts the 10 out like nobody's tomorrow.
This is one of my favorite camera angles. Even when we're watching the PBA Tour now coming up on the CW starting in 2026, where you just get to see the bowl in the front. You get to see all the alignment these bowlers have with their bodies from the front. He asked for the peel.
That was a really good convincing pass. Quality shot. Gets a little pumped up himself, turns around, lets his opponent know about it.
And just the amazing revolution in this sport with two-handed bowling. All the work these young players can do, they're so much better than a lot of players we knew back in the day we thought were good when they were 14, 15 years old. The physical games are just incredible. That looks good.
Yeah, that was a pretty good pass right there. Got things back on track where he needed to keep them. You know, and it's a shame that he had to catch a split there. The unfortunate pass there in the 5th frame, but like I'll say a quality veteran almost, or a veteran move, he puts that behind him and looks forward to the next frame and makes a good pass and gets right back on track. So
you've been in situations before, like events like the USBC Senior Masters and stuff, where you're top seed and you know you've got that chance for the second wind if you lose that first match. Does that change your attitude getting into a tournament final like that, or is it just, hey, let's get this over and done with in one?
I'll tell you what, I want to win every game I'm out there too. So whatever way that I can figure out how to overcome my opponent, that's exactly what I'm looking at.
Okay.
I'm not trying to set up the lanes for the second match because, to be quite honest, I don't want a second match. Right. I want to get it one and done.
We are seeing a lot more strikes than I anticipated, as some of our players early on had struggles on fresh conditions when this application was done during the qualifying rounds. We'd start to see some of the players have scored pickups. But Tyler Anderson, he only had one of 3 1100 blocks out of our players this weekend. Pretty incredible on a pair that played not so easy for a lot of our young players.
No, it didn't play very easy for a lot of the young players, but he certainly made it look that way.
It needs to push. Oh, wow.
And the way that he's playing him right now, the passes he's making at the ball, he certainly sees the lane rather well. And what's funny is he bowled the last match and really didn't quite see the lane the way that he wanted to.
Okay.
He didn't produce a really good score. A score good enough to win by all means because his opponent didn't see the lanes, but he certainly sees the lane right now.
A little over the toes again for Hanacek, and yeah, if he gets a little forward with the upper body, that's where he seems to be getting himself into trouble right now. Is that more of a timing issue when that happens, Parker?
Well, when he gets a little bit late behind it, he tries to pull through it.
Okay.
And when he does, if you watch closely, his upper body or his shoulders kind of shut the lane off. And when he turns and rotates his shoulders just a little bit too much, therefore it redirects his ball and his lines get a little bit out of whack at that point.
Okay.
So
we'll take another look at that with this angle from the strike ball next frame. And yikes, that's a bit surprising.
Yeah, Alexander's usually a fairly good spare shooter, at least from watching him bowl in tournaments in the past. And although that one slipped away from him there, I'll say this, we just got to regroup and get back on it. Foundation frame, 9th frame. Be nice for him to put a strike up here. That way, no matter what Tyler does, at least he can keep the gap within reach.
Yeah, 211 the max now for Hanacek.
That was a much better pass. Much better pass. See how he relaxed that one and just let the swing drop down in instead of trying to pull through it? As soon as he does that, he makes a quality shot. Well, obviously, the ball does everything it needs to do.
Yeah, remember the Save the Sweep Club there. There was nothing need to be pushed off the deck. Save you a little wear and tear on that part of the equipment here on those GSX
we like
pin
that.
setters. So, Tyler going to take a reset here.
That's all right.
Bad thing to do, yeah.
You know, he's in total control of everything going on. The last thing he needs to do is rush and get through the ball in a way that it's not going to be conducive. So, getting reset up.
259 the max. Wow, that 2-pin got some height, but it missed the 4.
Yeah, a little bit inside of target there, but still a fairly decent pass. Fortunately, leaving only the 4-pin. And in its position right now. 9 count, hopefully will fill the frame. 9 spare. Move on. And let's look at his game so far. He has hit the pocket every shot.
Yep. Yeah, that big blemish in the 5th frame for Hanachek, really the difference in this match.
Especially between strikes.
Scenic route at the spare, nothing wrong with that. It's a good day for a Parkway Drive here in New Jersey.
It's about 20 minutes from here.
Pretty good weather all weekend. Nice family and friends and crowds coming in for 5 qualifying squats between Friday and Saturday and our match play rounds today. And with all of our great sponsors, and we'll mention some of them shortly, $23,000 in scholarship money to be awarded to all of our players this weekend. Was that a...
That was just a little bit of a little extra hit on that one. And by going after it a little bit more, especially two-handed, naturally they can get a little bit more on it. And as soon as he did, his ball picked up a little sooner than he wanted to.
The rake didn't pick up sooner than he wanted to right there, though.
Well,
he had to get himself a reset.
Yeah, he was ready to go, and the machine was still going through what it needs to do there. So, but the good thing was he stopped, and hopefully he resets himself and takes his time and fills the frame.
Yeah, little glance at the scoreboard there. He knows a spare here and a strike gets him to 227, and he'll definitely be in the lead. After this opening game of the 2-game Total Wood match. And there you see at the end of the lane, there you see some of the great sponsors we had all weekend long with Rev Rates, Brunswick, Bohn's Elite Training, and Hall Lanes. And there were several others, too. There was Manchester Accounting,
Storm Youth Championship.
Dynamic Networks. Buddy's Pro Shop.
Buddy's Pro Shop. And we also had, from down on the shore, one of our local boat facilities.
Yeah. I believe that marina owner was in here a little earlier today.
He was. He was in here checking it all out, and that's really cool. Really nice, easy pass there. Fills all 10 on the fill ball there.
So he knows he's going to be up by at least 16.
That's at the bare minimum.
Yep. And so with these two players on the same side, they're playing a little bit different lines because the equipment that they're doing is, are we going to start to maybe see some wiggle and jiggle out of reactive?
You
Tyler,
may. You may.
Didn't look clean out of the ball, like quick. I shouldn't say clean. It was too clean.
Well, it was clean, that's for sure. But not keeping his hand under it to really get on the ball to make it turn over down lane the way that he wanted it to. The great thing was he gave it a chance. He didn't close it off like he did the 2 shots, unfortunately, that went through the nose. So let's try to fill the frame here and keep things within perspective.
Both with the ball, best way to do it.
Yeah, that's you hit both pins with the ball. You have a really, really good opportunity making sure that they're going to all fall over.
So
that being said, that doesn't mean I haven't chopped a spare where the ball has actually hit the other pin, but it said, not today.
It's pretty interesting that neither of these bowlers on a fill ball tried another piece of equipment. Usually you see that pretty often in these situations. Both bowlers must feel comfortable with the pieces at their end, even with that going through the nose there for Hanachek.
Yeah, Alexander cut that one off. You can see it right there. right over the top of it. So now he finds himself down 39 pins after game number 1. So give me a second,
Yep.
Phil, and I'll be right back here.
We'll be waiting.
Okay, after game 1, Tyler Anderson finds himself 39 pins ahead of Alexander Hanasek. So Tyler will start game 2. Remember, if Tyler does win this match, that will force a second match for the title.
All right. Thank you again, Parker. And we are ready to rock and roll here.
Doing a little bit of a, I'd say, double or triple duty.
Yeah.
But fortunately, I'm off the hook for being out in the main center. Justin has that taken care of right now.
Tell you what, getting through round and round, getting all those bowlers relocated and stuff, you guys have done another awesome job. Hey, how about that? That pin backed up, turned around, Tyler never saw it. That pin
Tyler
was
never
rolling back
seen it.
across. Those are some clean pin decks here at, at Rev Rates, because that ball stopped on a dime, turned around, and next thing you know, 10 down.
Well, the funny thing about it, it says strike.
Yes. Every once in a while, sometimes you get some good breaks, and sometimes you get some bad breaks, and that one definitely for Anderson got himself a good break.
Yeah, well, things are going his way right now, so it's much better pass that time.
Would you call that a urethane hit right there?
I would definitely call that a urethane hit. It, as much as he's got the lane shut down, it doesn't look like the ball is picking up to go through the pins the way that he would like it to. So I'd almost say on a personal basis, it looks like he's getting to the point that maybe he needs to go to a reactive ball.
Okay.
Depending how things unfold here, I'm going to say by frame 5 or frame 6, if he hasn't picked up or thrown a couple of strikes to really make something look good, I would almost say it's the time to change and try something.
Yeah, and you know, watching him go for those left side spares with the reactive ball, it seems to have a pretty nice motion to it from my eye, but I'm not the one obviously throwing the ball.
Correct.
Like
What we see is one thing, what the bowler feels is another.
Yeah, and so much of this game, you're true, is feel. If you don't have the feel, it even if you're throwing a couple strikes in a row, you might get some self-doubt creeping in.
You have to have undoubted confidence in the ball that you're going to roll down a lane.
Look at those shoulders open, close
Ball
up.
change.
Oh.
Ball change. How about that? Picks up and rolls through the pins.
These kids are so smart with their equipment. We talked about it. Urethane hit, he makes the change, flush in the pocket.
Yep.
I wish I was that smart when I was 15.
I probably would have waited till I was done with the game or the fill ball only.
Right.
And, right away in the second frame there, gives himself a look at it. That'll give him a couple extra frames regardless of how this plays out.
Yeah, I mean, he's down 39, but it's like, okay, I'm not even close to being out of this yet. That's the attitude you're getting from Hanacek right now, and Anderson having another great toss for an opening double.
Yeah, that was a really good pass he made right there.
State flag of Maryland on that great jersey. I love the jersey designs that these kids come up with for themselves, or maybe the parents up out here and there. I know
It's funny you say that. I'd say that kids have nothing but time. They don't have much time anymore.
No.
Okay.
I was watching Justin do homework he needs for back down at Weber this week on his laptop in the tournament office a little earlier today.
That was Brandon.
Oh, that was Brandon doing homework. That's right.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
He's trying to keep up with it, and he better, because he's got an early flight tomorrow morning.
Yes, indeed. So third frame, looking for the turkey for Tyler Anderson.
Looks close. Trips to 4.
How long these kids can make that flat spot at the bottom of the swing. I never heard that term until Danny Wiseman talked about with flat spot on the swing and how these kids do it with the shoulder nice and loose and just the fluid swing through.
If everything is loose at the bottom, you can really start to manipulate the ball almost any way you want.
Yeah.
And that subconscious feeling that you have really comes into play.
Needs to hold. Yeah, that was trouble.
Yeah, closed that one down a little bit. Hooked a little earlier than he wanted to. Obviously was inside the target. But to his defense, he did change balls. And I think by changing balls, giving him a couple of frames makes him move. Even if he loses this game and loses this individual match, he still knows he has 2 more games. Let's say hopefully practice mode will allow him to get lined up and start to see it.
So the open frame leaves him with not a lot of hope for this first match, but since he is undefeated, Hanachek will get a rebuy, I guess, if you use a poker term.
Yes, he will.
He has not been defeated yet today.
Well, Tyler wants to make sure he puts a loss on the board for him.
Yeah.
You know, although he's sniffing victory here, and when I say sniffing, he's still got 7 frames to go. Almost anything can happen. It is bowling. But that being said, he wants to keep the pedal to the metal. That's a good pass. Good result.
So you've bowled often enough here on lanes 3 and 4 inside of rev rates. Is there any difference topography-wise between the lanes? Is it somewhat pattern dependent, or they play pretty close to each other?
They're similar. This end of the facility is typically tighter, and I say this end, somebody would look and go, we only got 5 lanes in there. I'm going to go by the bowling center itself. Another great shot there by Tyler. But this end of the facility has typically been a little bit tighter than the rest of the center. It doesn't get quite as much play, although now anymore over the last 2 or 3 years, we definitely feel like it's had more play going on because of conforming into rev rates and people coming in working at their games. We've got more party atmosphere going on out here, so there's a lot of things going on at this end of the bowling center.
Yeah, there you see Tyler's dad Eric standing behind. Now he's going to pace again. You should get a carpet company as a sponsor of this event for all the wear and tear parents put on their carpet here at all lanes.
Well, you can't miss Tyler's dad, Eric.
No.
I'll tell you what, he's a big man and really into the bowling world, so that's for sure.
And that's one thing for Eric as well. He does some live streaming of the youth events down in Maryland, so Tyler's kind of used to seeing cameras and stuff around. Had a nice chat with Eric a little earlier today, so every little bit of experience, and these kids are going to go away from this with, hey, I've bowled under lights before, and I performed pretty well, win or lose.
Exactly. Oh, you really came over the top of that one. Well, good break, double, but that's not the confidence one that he wants, so you better relax and make some good passes here.
Is there a drill a player could do, let's say, because the shots we've seen Hanachek get in trouble with, it's nose over toes, so is there something that a player could do in practice as a drill to maybe help with that so it doesn't happen as often?
You can do a lot of one-steps. One-steps will allow you to just focus on one thing, but also when you do that, you want to do those one-steps where you're putting your hips down underneath you. You don't want to get your shoulders too far in front of you.
Okay.
Because as soon as they do, it just makes things easy to come right over the top of it.
That's a little better. Oh, backdoor and a 3-pin. That's carry I haven't seen all weekend.
I got to be honest, I think he wants to save 2 shots like that.
So once again, Anderson perfect through 5, looking to take this to the if necessary match and make it a necessity. Can we get to the front half? Not this time.
A little bit in that time.
It's always bowling such a great sport. Sometimes you can tell what a player has done wrong on the shot just by what they're moving on their body on the way back.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. He knew that one there. He closed it up, got a little further inside than he wanted to, but all 3 are together, and hopefully he's going to make the spare. Had to sweat that one out a little bit, but did fill it in. And, well, at the end of the day, a spare is a spare. You don't want to give your opponent extra pins or an extra opportunity to gain more pins when you're up by that many. Just keep filling frames, and, well, basically, you've got complete control of the match.
So if this goes to the if necessary, it's looking like that way. Who will Hanachek still have lane choice, or will it just be the same order they had the opening match?
It will be the order that they're in right now.
Okay.
It will just continue at that moment. That was a pretty good quality shot right there.
It was.
Got through it very well, got it out on the lane, did not try to force it, and just allowed it to happen.
So Anderson finds himself in a situation now where stepping up frame 10, game 2 isn't going to be huge. that might be looming large by the time we're done with that if necessary match.
Yeah, well, for Alexander, I mean, for him, he just has to settle down and make some good passes. That looks like a pretty good pass. He needs more of those, you know, because Tyler has control of what's going on. Okay, we know that he's got power, but power is only good if you have it under control. And right now, he's got his power under control, where he's just making passes and seeing the pocket more times than not. Well, if you see the pocket that much and you have that much power, you're probably going to produce a pretty decent game. Very rarely do I watch that much power go through the pins and walk away with 180 or 190.
So Hanachek looking for a 5-bagger here. In the 8th frame. Most of the matches we've seen all weekend, you said somebody's got a 5-bagger and they go in the 8th frame, they'd be well ahead in the match. Not the case here, as Anderson started with the front 5.
No, but the confidence builder out of it, those 2 shots were really good shots, and that's really what matters.
So get that chamois on the ball, get all that oil off. And there we go, another strike on the board in this first match. It was now becoming a first of 2 matches, as Alexander well in control. I'll tell you what, I know you were just talking with your daughter, Sydney, before she left, but she did a great job for her first time in the booth in the U15 girls division. She's a very knowledgeable young lady about this sport.
She pays attention, that's for sure.
Well, it was fun listening to her stories where she was younger and she was like, yeah, you know, I didn't do as much as my brother and my brothers did and that kind of thing. She goes, and it got to the point where it's like, you know what, I need to start working a little harder at this. And it wasn't like, you know, it was finally self-prodding that did it to her. She didn't want to have her brothers beat up on her all the time. And, yeah, she's been very successful over the last 5 years or so.
For somebody that was a late bloomer,
yeah,
she's come a long way in what I would call relatively a short period of time.
Yeah, she said she used to, she'd want to go to dance classes and stuff like that instead of bowl, that kind of thing. But I can imagine the dance classes help with her balance and everything once she really started taking the bowling seriously. I've heard of NFL players taking ballet classes because all the movement and their weight distribution and shifting.
I got to be honest, I don't want to see an NFL guy in a tutu.
Yeah. There's still a picture of me in a tutu from George Pappas's Victory Lane circa 2017. So out there somewhere. But also the next day, George Pappas also bought a tutu from the veteran ladies that were there as well. They were a group of veterans, and we've got a little ring of fire going.
Yeah, I hear
wait
that.
Here for a second. It's nice to have a Johnny Cash fan in the crowd.
There you go.
So Hanachek, they're having a good laugh on it over in the corner here. So.
Yeah, well, that will happen from time to time.
Still remember a tournament in Minnesota on the PBA 50 Tour where, unfortunately for Bob Learn Jr., he had a phone go off while he was on the approach. And he was in his third step, and it was too late for him, and ended up losing the title on something like that. So we could have a little laugh with it now since, the point of the match just doesn't matter at this point with the great game that Anderson's throwing. I mean,
yeah. Well,
Hanachek's throwing a solid game. One open.
Hanachek's bowling a fairly decent game, but Tyler really has control with everything going on right now. He's got a chance to bowl 270 and post 500 for 2.
Yeah.
I got to be honest, Phil. Of all the matches I've seen today, I don't think anybody has posted 500 for 2.
No, I haven't seen that all weekend long. Like I said, there were only 3 1100s bowled for 5-game sets in qualifying.
Yeah.
The performance here for Anderson in this first match kind of reminds me, I believe, was it last year or 2 years ago that Jake Boxty shot
last year?
Last year. He had a 300 and 579.
He had 579 or 578 for 2 games, which is really that's sick.
And it was a solid 8-pin that kept it from being perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. I mean, he just took down a big tournament title, big amateur tournament event in Iowa last week in the Great Iowa Open. So good that he's making a few extra bucks to help pay for college while he's in Iowa.
Well, Jacob's not one afraid to throw the ball down the lane,
Yeah.
so that wouldn't surprise me. As Alexander gets done there with 223 for 411, and let's be honest, 411 probably wins 60 or 70%, if not 70 or 80% of the matches today.
Right.
So
Let me get back
another
here.
pretty good pass.
Just a little weak on that 6-pin.
Yeah, 6 didn't do the trick on the 10, but spare here gives him 250 and possible 480.
Hanacek had 435 in a winner's bracket match. Anderson had 418 in a winner's bracket match. So those were your two highest sets in the winner's bracket prior to coming inside of Rev Rates. I don't know if there were any in the there were none in the eliminator brackets. Only two 400 series during match play in this U15 boys division, and both players exceeding that.
Yeah.
Hanacek would have won every match but one in that match play action outside.
Yeah, well, now he's bowling against a bulldog right now.
Yes, he is. So we're going to have another announcement here from Parker. Let everybody in the building know what might be happening. Is a little unusual light 410 at that, as you see. Plays it safe, and here we go.
In our first match here, Alexander Hanacek with a 223 for 411. Unfortunately, comes up a little bit short as Tyler Anderson bowls a pretty outstanding match of 481. So that will force match number 2. Right now, this match here, whoever wins the match will win the U15 boys title. So when you gentlemen are ready, good luck. Alexander, you will start things off. Give them a round of applause in this final match.
All right. Hanacek had one opportunity to lose a match, and that just happened. So let's see how he mentally handles himself. I don't think the physical part with how the ball's rolling and such for him. He's got a pretty good look right now, Parker. It's just a matter of what do you do to overcome having that loss for the first time today.
Well, you could just have to settle down and make good passes. I think he has a look on the lane as long as he doesn't try to overdo it. You know, and when we say that, we know that he just went light there for 210, but that was actually the relaxing pass that he needs to make. Now, just get lined up and make that same pass over and over again. Sometimes it's easier said than done. Okay, he is bowling the title match, and we know that the heart is going a million miles an hour, but
hey, shooter.
Oh, good pass right there. Came pretty close at that one, but you know he did. He made a pass that he gave himself a chance at that point. So
the chamois to the ball for Tyler Anderson, and definitely the confidence coming off a 481 first set.
481 off of that set, and a really good pass to start the game.
Yeah, you hear that pop of the finger holes. Are you finding working with more and more two-handed players that they're using various types of lifts in the ball for their fingers? Still, are a lot of them just going with the bare drilling?
Most of them are going. I'd say most have oval grips. It seems like in there. Let's face it. When you look at your fingers, I'd say oval is the most popular, but a rounded one or rounded with the power lifts inside of it, if they're looking to get a little bit more on it, is certainly a popular layout or feel for the ball. But everybody is a little bit different. It really comes down to personal preference as to what you choose. But make sure, once again, you talk to your local pro shop operator and get the right feel for your game. Because when you get that feel, Phil, I'm going to tell you right now, you have a great chance to really repeat a lot of shots.
Yeah, I had one of the best ball drillers in the Midwest, Joey Serrar Jr., as my ball driller for years. And he retired. I retired. Well, that wasn't the reason why, but when you have a ball driller that knows your game, and don't be afraid to ask your ball driller questions. if something doesn't feel right, if something doesn't look right with a ball reaction, that type of thing, it's amazing with either a little pitch change if it doesn't feel right, or even just a surface adjustment on a bowling ball if it doesn't look right going down the lane can do for you. And that's what they're there for. Don't be afraid to ask your pro shop guy questions.
Your pro shop guy is literally your doctor or dentist.
Yeah.
You go to them for help when something doesn't feel right. You got to go to your pro shop guy to feel that same thing.
All right, so we've gone wide and wide. He started with urethane, moved in the reactive resin, and now probably a little consultation here.
Yeah, talking to Dad a little bit, trying to figure something out here. His dad really helps him a lot, really supports him, like most of the parents do.
Right.
There's no doubt there, but I know Alexander's dad is really behind his game. He watches his every shot, and he's kind of his eyes behind him as to what's going on. So
Is it? No, it's not a ball. I thought it was a ball change for a second, but no, not a ball change yet.
let's see what he's got here.
Oh, a break. That's what he's got.
Got that one inside the target through the nose, but they all fell over. So
And once again, consulting, figure out, because it's always good to have the extra eyes too, because it's tough to pick up what happens the first 15 or 20 feet of the lane. And so maybe you thought you didn't make a mistake, but the player, your dad or your mom behind you goes, hey, that one started a board inside and picked up early because the oil's starting to come away. That's a lot of 7 on that shot. We've seen some 3 counts on errant shots this weekend. We've seen a couple of 1 counts as well. I'm not going to say who it was.
Yeah, we did see a couple of 1 counts. Back-to-back 1 counts,
They were
might we add.
back-to-back. On our main feed yesterday on the 4 o'clock squad. Yes, indeed. But let's see what Anderson can do here. He's going to stay with the reactive. He's going to hook into that.
Got that one wide for a washout, and see how this plays out.
Just misses, and that's the first blemish on the scorecard Anderson's had in a while.
Well, it's first blemish he's out on the scorecard in this match.
Yeah.
So, that'll be interesting to see how that comes into play over the next 2 or 3 frames, see if that plays into it. As good a look as he has, honestly, occasionally we all make that bad shot. I think he just needs to put it behind him and just go back and do what he's been doing.
There you see that nice setup ball real high. Waist high.
Well, that was a good thing. Right back on it.
Yeah, the high hard one. Looks like he's made a little adjustment to tighten up the line a bit, possibly because of what Hanachek was using with urethane earlier.
It could have been. Either that or it was just a point he knew he wasn't going to throw it out there in the tumbleweeds.
You throw it in the tumbleweeds, you might get another ring of fire here again.
Yeah, we don't need that. No, not at all.
All right, let's see what Hanachek can do here, working on a strike in the 3rd. You think he likes it? I think he likes it.
Think he likes it? That ball went right through the 8-9.
Yep.
If that's not a confidence builder, there's not too many other shots I can think that are going to give you more than that.
It's one of those strikes that they put the stop action like right after the ball at the pins on the old Bowl Better with Don Johnson textbook. I had to remind your son Brandon what a book actually was. He goes, since everything's on tablets and stuff nowadays for the kids, e-books and such. I told him about newspaper delivery boy, and that blew his mind. Let's see if Hanachek can deliver a turkey.
Nope. A little in front of that one, stuck a little bit over the top. The good thing is they're both together. So we'll see if he can fill this one in. The great thing for Alexander at the present moment, if he can fill this up, make this spare, he finds himself 2 pins in the lead. So we'll have to see how things partake here. But last I checked, if you're 2 pins in the lead, you got 1 step forward, and that's really what counts. All right. That was the 6-10 that he missed, unfortunately, last match.
Yeah.
So filling that frame this time, that's good. Sit back, try to think about that shot. But I'm going to tell you right now, he really needs to go back and watch that shot in the 4th and replay that over and over in his head, because that was a great, solid pass. And that's the ones that you want to dig deep and do again and again.
How about a messenger in front, though, of the 10? Haven't seen a lot of messengers this weekend either. Is that just entry angles that cause messengers to happen? It's
That's
not just
exactly
strength
what
and
it
power?
is. It's just, well, these kids got
Yeah.
plenty of power to throw some messengers. I seen 1 or 2 messengers over there in the other side of the bowling center that I looked at and I go, oh my ball never hit like that. So, but the ball going a little bit long, coming in behind the head pin, and then when that head pin comes off the wall, if it goes over in front of the 10, it's a little bit behind the head pin.
Hey, we want to give a special shout out, even though I don't think he's in the building right now, but our good friend and obviously one of your best friends, Johnny Petraglia, now a grandfather, Zoe Marie.
Congratulations to Johnny. That's right. Congratulations to Johnny. Grandpapa.
He had a smile from ear to ear walking
Oh my
in here on
God,
Friday
did he
night.
ever.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yep.
And almost a beautiful thing to trip a 410 out on a high hit, got the 4 to go.
Yeah, the great thing about Johnny, obviously for him and Pat being grandpa, grandma, is their daughter Jamie. She's doing wonderful.
Good.
The baby's doing wonderful. So congratulations to them and wishing them nothing but the best. As we watch Tyler go a little bit high and trip the 4, leaving the 10 that time, Phil, he's gone high quite a few times on that left lane.
Yeah.
And fortunately tripped the 4 that have turned into strikes more times than not. So we'll have to see and take place. Might have to make a small move on that lane, but if he makes a move a little too much, does all of a sudden start hanging a 10 pin.
Yeah, there you see he's talking to his dad, Eric, right now. Game plan, and once again, that extra set of eyes, always helpful.
Oh, my God, yes.
So, I mean, you had the eyes of one of the greats, Chuck Gardner, on you for many years on tour, and Chuck and Deb Gardner, we want to give them a shout-out, too, because their Bowl for Life Scholarship Foundation this weekend gave out $3,000 in scholarships before young players even threw a bowling ball in competition.
What they do for bowling is just absolutely amazing to me. 100% of all of the money that they raise goes back into scholarship money for the youth around the country. And you don't have to be an exceptional bowler, folks.
No.
You can be a bowler that participates in your league that averages as simple as 100, and I don't even really want to put a number on it.
Right.
You just participate on the lanes and you're a bowler, you can apply, and you got an opportunity to get a scholarship award. Looking for a double here. Oh.
Powerful. Strike again.
Pretty good. Pretty good pass there. But, yeah, what they do for bowling is just absolutely amazing. And the fact that they came on board or, got in touch with us and asked us, hey, we want to do something for your bowlers here. $3,000, 10 different opportunities out there, $300 a pop. That's just amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing to see some bowlers smiling before they even start bowling. And, well, now we got some problems. We got some left, and left. And whether it's the ball or Anderson, yet to be decided.
Well, it's a little turn or a little change of events right now. So,
and I'll tell you what, you can tell a lot by looking at a bowler's face. Anderson during that first match here, his face wasn't as flush. He seemed pretty cool, calm, and collected. Of course, when you're throwing as many strikes as he had.
Correct.
Easy to do. Now you look at the cheeks, they're a little rosier than they were before.
Well,
the blood's pumping a little bit more than it was last match.
Exactly. He went a little high, tripped to 4 and left to 10, obviously on the left lane. And good break, bad break. I mean, I'm going to look at it. Hey, it was a 9 count. You made despair. He did exactly what he needed to. But that one there got a little bit inside again and unfortunately paid the full penalty for it. So another shot inside.
Oh, huge
inside
break on the
Brooklyn,
crossover.
yep.
But, yeah, you can see he's fight. Yeah, Dad, come on over. Let's get you to relax. You can see the fighting with it.
Dad'll bring him back off the shelf.
Yeah. Yeah, there are a few of those this weekend. You see a bowler come back and just not happy with it. And
You know
Mom
what?
and Dad calming him down.
I've been down that road before. I've had to take my kids off the shelf, I'll say more than a handful of times. So.
Hanachek. Looking for the turkey. Yikes.
Not out there.
Hey, there's one we see every day. The old 1-5. Let me check the tournament records here this weekend for Hanachek. And Hanachek is 0 for 0 on the 1-5 at this point. So he's looking to stay 100%.
Yeah.
And it's basically a strike shot for him right now.
It really is. He just has to put that shot behind him once again and let's get back up and focus on making a good pass. If he does, he's got a line to the pocket, especially on this lane.
Right. Much
Looks a little better, yeah.
Dead on them both, splits them.
All right. Well, we know he's 1 for 1 at the 1-5.
I used to tease sometimes back in the days of extra frame when I would find a bowler and all of a sudden we'd have some really weird lead. I'd start tapping on the table and like going, "Oh, let me check the records." Like hit the keyboard. I'm like, "Yeah, he's yet to shoot at this in 2025." That was the lead you showed us last night from the PBA 50-60 regional in Tennessee was just amazing.
Yeah, they're 40 years. I've never seen that before. So, foundation frame for Alexander. Looks like a good pass. Wow.
Oh.
Wow, he stayed down with that one. Good, solid pass right through his target. Ball goes through the pins. And back to, like you said, we did not need to sweep on that one.
No. Save the sweep club.
Yep. 10 pins right in the pit.
Proprietors always enjoy that. I was calling a string pin regional last week in Waukesha, Wisconsin for the PBA, and I couldn't use that because there's no sweep.
A little bit inside the target again, but he moved in a little deeper. So
combination of a little iffy ball reaction and a little case of the tugs now overcome for a frame.
it's all right. Finds himself set up right now. If he can strike out in the 10th here, after that setup there in the 9th, he can strike out for 211. And regardless of what Alexander does in the 10th, at least it's going to be a dogfight going into the next game.
Yeah, you got when you can stay within a mark when you've had some struggles in a game. That's something to build off of for that second game of the match.
Working on a double. Looks good. Wow, that was an excellent pass right there.
Tell you what, that shot in the 8th frame, I mean, just the balance, the poise at the foul line looks so much different there in the 10th as compared to the Aaron shot in the 8th.
Exactly. They're the shots that he was really focusing on throwing the whole first match.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
got away from him a little bit, probably started forcing it a little, and I'm going to say, Phil, honestly, some of that could be his age.
Yeah.
But, you know, he settled down, listened to what Dad had to say, and now he resorted back to making some good quality shots.
keep it on line.
Just like that.
Split it pretty, no doubt about it. And Christian Forey making his way out of the building. And I want to share a story with everybody, too, because there are a lot of friendships that are made here inside this tournament every year. And Christian Forey was bowling. He was in the elimination match in the U12 boys bracket. And one of his competitors, Mehdi Madeira, was struggling a little bit and having some problems. And Mehdi kind of was getting broken down a little bit. And Christopher took the time, put a hand on his shoulder and said, hey, focus, do what you need to do. And that incredible act of sportsmanship by Christian Forey at a moment where he was going to be out of the tournament. He was having a rough match against our eventual champion, Nolan Randisi, got eliminated. Just the sportsmanship these kids show for each other, the support they show for each other is really cool. And that's a moment I'm not going to forget for quite a while by Christian Forey.
Yeah.
Supporting his fellow player.
It's really, really cool to see that.
Yeah.
Especially when somebody looks like they're a little bit down and out, and any way you can pick them up is going to be fantastic. Alexander working on a strike going in the 10th frame. Oh, pulled over it.
That's a bit unusual with the old 6'9".
6'9". Well, right now we're going to try to see if he can pick this up, and if he picks it up, even though he's going to be down a couple of pins, like you said earlier, it will be less than a mark.
Right.
And now it truly does turn into the dogfight coming into the 10 frames that we have for next game.
Hold on.
Good spare.
Yeah, you got to watch that because everybody thinks, well, the balls are rotating one way, and you shouldn't be able to chop the 6 off the 9 pin. Oh, yes, we've seen it by right-handers in the past.
Yeah. Well, and Alexander's really good about going dead straight at it, at least that particular spare. So his ball wasn't going to move. It was just a matter of was it going to be on the wrong line to take the 6 straight back. Fortunately for him, it wasn't. So he has a potential 205 here on the fill ball, and we'll just have to see how it plays out.
Right. And boom goes the dynamite. 8 falls late, but it falls. And here's Parker.
Okay, game number 1 of this final match. Alexander Hanasek, 205. Tyler Anderson, 210. A 5-pin match going into the last game. Bowlers, when you are ready, good luck.
This is what every young player dreams of when they're going through those practice sessions, when they're going through the monotony of making a bunch of 10 pins and making a bunch of 7 pins and everything. Well, guess what? Not monotonous going on for the next 10 frames, I guarantee you, the way these two players have been throwing the ball in this U15 Boys Championship. Tyler Anderson starting things off here, Parker, on lane 3.
He really has things under control right now. He moved a little deeper on the lane. You're starting to see the lane again. Settled in to where he's making a lot of quality shots, very much like he did the first match. But I think Alexander's starting to see the lane too. Let's just hope for his sake that he doesn't get over top of it, you know, where he shuts it down and collapses on it. Or, God forbid that happens, hopefully he leaves himself a makeable spare and just moves on. But first frame, let's see what he's got in the bag.
Dead pull left. And the 5. Could have been worse. That's one of those angles you watch the ball diving away from the 1-2.
Yeah.
That 10 pin has a tendency to stand with it, and for as rarely as those players have to shoot the 5-10, that's one of those 5% category spares. So good thing it's just the 5 for Hanachek.
Well, any 9 can be a good 9 as long as you got a frame filler on top of it.
Indeed.
It's a much better pass again.
Conversion rate on our live streams 99.99%. I say that because I had a USBC Hall of Famer miss a 5-pin this summer on one of our local live streams we did back in Milwaukee during a Wednesday night sweeper series. USBC Hall of Famer, I will leave him unnamed, but he missed a 5-pin. So it can happen to anybody.
Thank God I didn't miss any in front of you there, Phil.
I can never remember you missing a 5-pin.
Oh, I've missed it before. I'm not going to say that I'm foolproof.
Right.
Second frame. Oh, a little bit high.
Hey, but filling frames 2-9 spares leaves pressure on your opponent. You go 9 whiff, and that really will loosen up your opponent's swing.
Exactly. You don't need to hand it over to them while they're sitting on the bench. So
get that chamois on the ball.
And the other thing was that's a confident pass. Hits the pocket, does what it needs to do. Trying to play a little bit more of the hook right over there, and the ball gets over there pretty easily, convincingly. Two marks on the board. Keeping your opponent honest at that point, and that's not trouble.
Mixes up the light hit. How about that?
Tyler, it looks like he moved in a little bit more that time because the pass actually looked like a good shot, but certainly went really light through the pins, and, well, the head pin came off the wall and did all the damage, taking out the 8-pin. So, double on the board.
There's your peek at what the winner is going to receive. They're not going to get the balloons. Those are staying here for another match or two.
Yeah, we're going to have to hold on to them.
But $900 for that first place scholarship check here in the U15 boys division. And we have ourselves a tight match during the third frame, and Anderson trying to not make it a tight match with that front 3. He likes these second games of these 2-game total pin matches, it seems like.
It sure does.
And sometimes it's not easy to be patient when you have a situation like a 2-game total pin match or at the Masters where you have 3-game total pin matches. Sometimes you got to wait a frame or two and keep filling frames and then really start stringing the strikes, and that's going to be a world of hurt there.
Yeah, that's not what he was looking for there. He gave that one a little bit of room. That lane, we know it's starting to break down. It's starting to hook a little bit more. And unfortunately, coming in behind the head pin, leaving the 2-8-10. Not exactly a very easy makeable spare here. So I'm thinking he's just going to go for 2 and take a little potluck out of it. And
gave that one a little spin around.
Try to get around. It actually looked like he got that one just a little bit even wider yet, but it came all the way back. But, well, by all means, he probably moved right on the approach.
So, yeah, back talking to Dad. He's going to get a little liquid refreshment there, a little encouragement, a little hand on the shoulder. And it's, I guarantee you, looking at these two young men, all the games they bowled so far today, they've probably bowled 8 or 10 games already today. They're going through 4 games here in this championship match. The over-under for the amount of time it takes them to fall asleep in the backseat on the way home is 5 minutes.
Yeah. Might not be out of the parking lot.
Right. So, and hey, we got to say a special thanks to all the parents, too, that support their kids, bring them in here for the event, get them down here safely, get them home safely, and get them back to school tomorrow.
Phil, when I look at everything that we did this weekend, it turns out to be one of our biggest weekends we've had. With everything that was given out, great pass there, right back on track. We probably gave out somewhere around $27,000 or $28,000 when you add the Bowl for Life scholarship, the junior gold winner spots that have gone out here.
Yeah.
I mean, high game pots. When you add it all up, it really has been a really fabulous weekend. And we couldn't do all of that, honestly, without the parents, but we couldn't do it without our sponsors, too. Looked a little inside. Inside for me, at least from my angle. But he's obviously moved deeper on the lane. And
so maybe he's left to where of where Hanachek was earlier with urethane, so it can't be catching urethane hold, can it?
Can't really be catching the urethane hold, but he's moved deeper on the lane, found a little bit more oil, and now his ball is going into the right spot. But when I said about our sponsors, our biggest sponsor, not just this year, but all the years that we've had it, is Brunswick. Brunswick has stepped up to the plate and done everything in their power to allow our event to shine bigger and brighter. And I personally cannot thank them enough for allowing us that opportunity.
Front 5, we've seen it before. We see it again for Anderson as he's trying to lock this one up. And
yeah, Tyler certainly has control over what's going on here, but Alex feeling a little bit of the back is to the wall. Can still step up here and throw 2 more good shots and just tell Tyler, hey, I know that you've got the lead, but I'm not going anywhere. So, but he has to bear down now and give me 2 more strikes.
Left again.
Oh, boy.
It almost seems like he's getting it into his downswing, his backswing a little too quick, and it's just kind of magnifying with each step when he gets into trouble.
Yeah, that was he completely shut that one down and missed way left of target. And unfortunately, now he's going to leave himself somewhat of a troubled spare because his ball's going to the left, and he's got to figure out how to get it over there.
And not leave a weak 10 pin. Got them all.
Does it perfectly.
Yeah. That's the thing. All of a sudden, you're shooting at a picket fence on the right side. All of a sudden, you got to contend with the weak 10.
Yeah, I got to be honest. I don't want to miss that bin going away and have to shoot the whole rail with the corner pin on the left.
Yep.
So,
I mean, right now, if you were a gambling man, money's on Anderson, but it's not impossible. If Hanachek can start throwing a string of strikes here, Anderson finds some trouble, we can get right back into a tight match.
Well, exactly.
I mean, you always look back, and I never mentioned it around Chris Barnes, but 51 pins and 4 frames to go, and he was ahead and didn't take home a major.
You're right.
There,
gets a little trip 4 there.
That was one of the slower trip 4s I've seen in a while.
But you know what? We said it before. You needed a couple of strikes to at least keep a little heat on Tyler and let him know that he's not going anywhere.
Right.
But filling that frame, making the spare, and then putting a strike up there, still down a fair amount, but keeps himself alive.
Lots of help. No, you got more than half, but not by much. That would have had him out in about round 4 of the eliminator last Friday night. That's another fun event, too, here. Watching all those young players before the Trios Baker sweeper. Fun event that, and some bowlers that might not carry the average to bowl in the PB3 itself, they can take part in that Friday night sweeper, have a lot of fun with their friends and family, and get a shot at some scholarship money as well.
We did have a couple of bowlers that bowled in the eliminator and the trios that did not bowl the tournament.
Yep. All right. The count hurts a little bit, but still up in the match, but you cannot not have that open frame multiply.
Yeah, that's even though he started out with the front 5, that's a pretty big opening right there. And that gives Alexander a fair amount of breathing room, because now he realizes, God, you know, I did throw a strike up there. Looking at the scoreboard, and I got 235 in the wood. If he goes out the door for 235, Tyler needs another triple.
Right.
Throw shots like that, getting a triple's not too hard to come by.
Yeah. I mean, the composure of these players, they've each done it multiple times in the now fourth game we're into here. You throw a trouble shot, and then you dump the memory bank, and you come back and make a shot that just clears all 10 off the deck.
Yeah, you don't even know that you made that other shot.
Seventh frame, looking for the double, and the overcorrection from Poles.
Yeah, needs a little help on that one. Missing a head pin to the right. Well, now he's going to have to fill this frame or make this spare. Hopefully get back on board and get a strike the next frame. But now he's sitting in the seat, and he certainly needs help from Tyler.
And I don't want to say that the chances are over for Hanacek, but Slim is buying a bus ticket. Nunn's right behind him.
Yeah, there's he not only needs a strike now, but now he needs an insurmountable amount of help from his opponent.
I don't see Anderson tying his shoelaces together and bowling opposite-handed the last three frames.
No, another good shot there.
Oh, add insult to injury. You throw it great,
yeah,
and the 10 wiggles and laughs at you.
A little lazy on the 10. You know, the biggest thing for Alexander is he shouldn't come down on himself. Mm-hmm. He bowled fantastic. Yep. He's bowling for the title. Yes, he did lead the tournament, and I know that that's not going to sit too well with him after he sits here and watches everything that just unfolded in front of him. But he's got to take the confidence out of it. The confidence is he was one of two players bowling for the title here in this field.
Right.
Standing tall, giving himself an opportunity. And, yes, Tyler is going to be the eventual champion, at least everything that we see right now. But Tyler bowled outstanding. Yeah. We don't want to take anything away from Tyler.
Came out of the gates Friday morning, put a block up of over 1,100, over a 220 average on a very tough tournament condition. Bowled a couple more times, couldn't pass that score, and then overcame that first game loss, first match loss, sent him into the eliminator bracket, and just kept fighting all day long.
Yeah, and even right now, I mean, you look at his game. I'd say for Alexander, if Tyler was bowling 175 and you were losing by 10 or 20, you'd be really upset, and I kind of get it. But Tyler's bowled a pretty respectable game here, minus one shot. Yeah. And even the game before where it looked like he was lost or starting to lose it, he rallied back and threw the last five, although the first one was on the other side of the head pin. He threw the ninth and all three in the 10th. Really, really good.
He could hold that finishing pose for days, and he knows that one right there.
Yeah, that's a pretty good shot.
He's going to make those three in the 10th frame feel real good.
Yeah, he's going to have a victory lap here for sure.
Yeah,
not that the last one wasn't, but
yeah, everybody likes it when the math is official.
Yeah. Hopefully,
especially my accountant.
Yeah, right. Let's have a good shot here by Alexander.
And once again, Manchester County, one of our many sponsors. Hey, let's tie them all in together.
Yeah.
But we couldn't do the prize, as you mentioned, $28,000 this weekend. That couldn't be done without the help of the sponsors as well. And they're repetitive. I mean, I've been out here. This is the fourth year you've had me out here. It's the same sponsors. Then there's more adding on. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it's awesome. The ones that we've had in the past and the new ones that are coming on board, I can't thank them enough.
Yeah.
And these kids, although they want to win and, you know, they want the first place check and the trophies that we have from On the Ball Bowling, they can't really look at that and understand the meaningfulness until they get in college.
Yeah.
When they look at what it's going to cost, what? Oh, and I've got this much in my smart account.
Mm-hmm.
That makes a world of a difference.
I heard a parent talking with me before, and he said their young player who's not even out of the 15U divisions yet has earned over $40,000 in scholarship money, and it started with handicap tournaments when they were averaging 100.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
What a great pass he made there, right there.
When the muscles let go, because you know it's over and done with. Sometimes it's no different than it's no different than watching a golfer hole a putt once they know they get victories out of reach.
Hey, Phil, why are you talking about me like that? Okay.
I've never seen you golf.
No, I'm not talking about my golf
Oh,
game. I'm about
okay.
relaxing out there, when the match is over.
Well,
I mean,
we've all been there. Just you happen to be there many, many hundreds of more times than I ever could have dreamed of. So I heard an interesting stat from EJ Tackett the other day, and we were talking at the String Pin Regional last week, and EJ goes, do you know who has the best winning percentage on TV that bowled at least 40 matches? And I'm like, no. I thought it was you. I was wrong. Norm Duke. When Norm Duke made the title match, he won 66% of the time. 40 of he was in 60 title matches, and he won 40 of them.
wow.
Yeah. That was an amazing stat
That is pretty good to realize that.
Because even one of the greatest of all time, Earl Anthony, was sub 500 in title matches. And
Walter Ray is somewhere around that 500.
Right around the 500 mark, yeah.
Yeah, it's when you're bowling a title match in anything, it's tough.
Yep.
It is really tough. But Tyler Anderson is going to have a victory lap here right now. Look at the post.
Oh, almost left an unusual 4-pin, but puts the X up with the arms on the way back. And the smile's going to get a little bigger shot to shot here. So, Tyler, you can smile. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, Phil, I'm going to let you go right now because I've got to go out and hand out some hardware.
I love the hardware. I love the big checks. And thanks again for sitting in the booth with me.
Well, thank you for everything that you do and 10 on the deck and all that you bring to the table. You've allowed all of the friends and families to watch our event through the last couple of years, and this year is no exception.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some Tyler Anderson fans right now cheering in Maryland that they were able to watch. So
yeah,
and there's some Hanachek fans as well. I know it's a little rough one to take for Alexander at the moment, but he'll be just fine tomorrow morning.
Alexander will be back. For now, it's all about Tyler.
Yep. Thanks, Parker, and we will have our awards ceremony momentarily. And we don't need this stinking scoreboard anymore. Let's put up that champion's banner. There we go. Tyler Anderson, your champion for the U15 boys here. And a 258 finish. Way to go, Tyler.
Ladies and gentlemen, there it is. Tyler Anderson posts a 469 two-game set to Alexander Hanasek's 375. Tyler Anderson will be our U15 champion. Congratulations to Tyler. Great bowling there, Alex. Okay, and finishing second place, although leading the tournament, not doing exactly what he wanted to do out here right now, but I'm going to say this. Watching him bowl over the last couple years, he's come a long way, and he's going to be in his position again with a little bit different turn of events. But right now, a $500 scholarship, our second place award, goes to Alexander Hanasek. Congratulations there, young man. Nothing to be ashamed of, for sure. You had a great week, right?
Yeah.
Let's keep it that way. Oh, do that? All right, buddy. Okay, and our champion. You know, he kind of bowled in his own little world here, watching him bowl. He was one of the few bowlers that bowled 1,100 for 5 games in qualifying. I think one of 3 when it was all said and done. But going into the loser's bracket, coming all the way back, winning 2 matches here right now, and then posting the scores that you just did for two two-game sets. I mean, honestly, you deserve nothing other than this check and trophy right now. $900 in scholarship money, first place, Tyler Anderson.
Great bowling, dude. Great bowling. Yeah.
Congratulations to you there.
All right, Tyler, by yourself.
All right.
Ball
Well, he can do that in a minute, but first I'm going to talk to him here. I've watched Dad behind you the entire time. So Dad not only is a big support system, but Dad obviously watches your game and knows your game well. So what do you think about all of that?
Well, I think he's really good at coaching me, and he sees how I bowl really well, and if I need to make a change, he knows what I need to do.
I think it's really fantastic because a lot of young bowlers don't exactly listen to their parents enough, okay? And it doesn't matter what level the bowler that the parent is, the fact that he is your eyes and ears behind you and you recognize that, to me, as a parent, I think that goes a long way, and I hope that all the other youth that are watching right now really pay attention to that.
Yes, that's correct.
All right, well, congratulations to Tyler once again. $900 in scholarship money, U15 champion. Let me say, way to go. Good for you.
All right. Switching ball.
All right, and that leaves us with one championship to be determined, and actually, it's a 2-in-1. Because coming up next, we're going to bring a new stream here on the Bohn Legacy YouTube channel, and we're going to have the U18 Boys and Girls Championships happening simultaneously here from Rev Rates inside of Howell Lanes in Howell, New Jersey. So join us back here for that U18 Boys and Girls Championship in about 15 to 20 minutes. Thanks, everyone.